Firstly, I want to thank Ashraful and Maulana Suhail for inviting me and for putting on this amazing event. And I'm also honored to be speaking with some great guests here as well. And actually, I feel uncomfortable speaking with these great speakers. But just before we start, just from a show of hands, again, if you had to give yourself an AI IQ from 1 to 10, how many of you would say that you are a 0? So we've got a few people, nothing to be ashamed of. How many of you would say that you are between 1 and 5? Great. And how many of you would say that you are between 6 and 9? Okay. And how many of you would say that you are a 10? Luckily, there's no one there, otherwise I'll have to call them up. Okay, so today I will be speaking to you about leveraging AI for humanitarian efforts. Now, for those of you who are still on the fence about why you need to be using AI, I want you to take a listen to this.
How do you see this new AI era?
It's a beast. There's only two types of companies in this world, Morgan. Those who are great at AI and everybody else. If you don't know AI, you are going to fail. Period, end of story. Whether you are an employee, you're going to have to understand it, how it impacts your job or how you can use it to be better at your job. Same, if you're a student, the same thing. And if you're a CEO, you can't just say, okay, I'm going to get my tech guys to understand it and educate me on it. You have to understand it because it will have significant impact on every single thing that you do. There's no avoiding it.
So those are some pretty strong words from Mark Cuban. How many of you guys have heard of Gary Vee? Okay, so a few of you. So he has millions of followers on his social media platforms. And this is what he has to say.
If you are not using AI tools every day of your life, you're making a huge mistake. You've got to start training. Whether you need it or not is irrelevant. You're gonna need it and you're gonna interact with it every day. So the faster you're good at it, remember when you met executives 20 years ago, 10 years ago, that still don't even use email and they have their like secretary print out the email, like when it felt so weird, that's how not using AI will feel.
So again, those are some pretty strong words by Gary Vee. But maybe you need a little bit more convincing. So you've heard Mark Cuban and Gary Vee tell you how important it is to learn and know AI. But maybe you need an AI to convince you. So I am Muhammad's AI avatar. Yes, that's right. I'm not Muhammad. I'm just his AI avatar. So put simply, those that embrace AI will be successful and those that don't will be left behind. Now, just with a show of hands again, how many of you actually thought that that was me? Lots of people, right? But that wasn't me, that was my AI avatar. But maybe you still need a little bit more convincing.
Alors, vous avez entendu Mark Cuban et Gary Vee vous dire à quel point il est important d'apprendre et de connaître l'IA. Mais peut-être avez-vous besoin d'une IA pour vous convaincre. Je suis donc l'avatar IA de Mohamed. Oui, c'est exact. Je ne suis pas Mohamed. Je suis juste son avatar IA. Pour faire simple, ceux qui adoptent l'IA réussiront et ceux qui ne le font pas seront laissés pour compte.
So again, that wasn't me, and by the way, I don't speak French. But maybe you still need a little bit more convincing.
マーク・キューバンとゲイリー・ビーが AI を学び知る重要性を話して聞いた。でも、あなたを納得させるために AI が必要かも。私はムハンマドの AI アバター。はいです。私はムハンマドではありません。私は彼の AI アバターに過ぎません。AI を受け入れる人々は成功しそうでない人々は取り残されるということです。
So that was me speaking Japanese. And again, I don't speak Japanese. But can you see the impact that we can now have with the power of AI? Imagine how many more people we can reach by speaking multiple languages. But before we begin again, I just want to give you a little backstory about my journey with AI. So I have been in digital marketing since 2013. But that was as a side hustle. So I had a job and I was doing digital marketing at night and on weekends. And I started using AI tools since 2018. Now, because I was doing digital marketing as a side hustle, I was looking for ways to become more productive, to get more things done. That's why I was so interested in AI. But honestly, those tools that I was using in 2018 were nothing compared to ChatGPT. So when ChatGPT came out at the end of 2022, I tried it out and I fell in love with it. I was amazed at how powerful this tool was. I was so excited, I wanted to tell the whole of South Africa how powerful it was. So I started making TikTok and Instagram videos about how to use ChatGPT and AI tools in general. Now remember, as I said, I was thinking I'm going to reach a South African audience. But little did I know that the whole world would start seeing my videos. I was getting requests from all around the world for AI coaching and consulting. Pretty soon, I was addressing CEOs. I was addressing marketing teams. I even had a billionaire ask me for advice on AI. And when I say billionaire, I'm talking about a billionaire in dollars. And through my content, I was invited to speak at events in Miami, in Orlando, in Fort Lauderdale, and many other online as well. And I've been to Miami 3 times in the past year, just from AI. And through my content, I was featured in publications like Yahoo Finance, Dubai Daily, Business Insider, Financial Post, and many other publications as well. And through my content, I am honored to have worked with many leaders in the coaching space in America, and all of this happened just from me creating content. So this is what I wanted to tell you, that if I can do this, then anyone can do it. Because remember, all those posts that I was putting up were free. Now, Sabira, Asmal, she's actually my cousin, but besides that, we actually grew up in the same town. So if you ask her, growing up, even as an adult as well, I was a shy person, an introvert, you would say. But now, alhamdulillah, I am speaking on stages all around the world and addressing people all around the world. So when I say that if I can do it, anyone can do it, I really mean it. And, lots of people think that, they are too late to this AI game. And I'm here to tell you that you are not too late. So even if you start today, you can still have an impact and leverage AI in your daily life and your business life as well. And what AI has done, it has actually leveled the playing fields. Because now, especially for NGOs, if you leverage it correctly, you can make such a big impact. And besides, once you combine it with the power of social media, because as I mentioned, those TikTok posts that are made were free. Those Instagram posts were free. There's a gentleman here in the audience, Israel Moses, right? So he's actually from Nigeria. I never met him before until today. I put out a post on my social media that I was going to be speaking at this event. And he saw it in Nigeria. And it was a free organic post. And we have been chatting before this, but we've never met in person. So he told me that he's coming all the way from Nigeria for this event, and here he is. He came today, and I met him today. And honestly, I'm pretty sure he never heard of Ashraful Aid before today. So that is the impact that we can have. And any one of us can do this, and we can do it for free. Facebook is free, TikTok is free, LinkedIn is free, YouTube is free. We all have this opportunity. So we want to take advantage and leverage it as well. So I don't know who said this, but someone much smarter than me said, imperfect action is always better than perfect inaction. So that is all I want you guys to take away from this presentation of mine. If you take away anything, take away this, that you need to take action. Because everything is from Allah, but we still have to make effort, and Allah will take care of the rest. Now, lots of us, when we think about AI, we think about ChatGPT. How many of you use other tools besides ChatGPT? Just from a show of hands. Okay, that's great. Right. Because when we use one AI tool, that's okay. But when we can leverage multiple AI tools together, that is when we can see the true power of AI. So we shouldn't just restrict ourselves with one AI tool, because unfortunately, there isn't no one perfect AI tool. You have to use multiple AI tools for multiple different tasks. So I want to share with you some easy to implement use cases for humanitarian efforts that you can start doing today. So number one, most of us use AI for this content creation, right? And most of you may be using it for emails, for creating social media posts, etc. So you can actually leverage it for storytelling as well, and it can help you to create images, because you can generate images with AI, you can generate videos with AI, and honestly, those tools are becoming so good that it is almost impossible to differentiate between a good AI image and a real image. But here again, it all depends on the instructions that you give it. Then you can automate an administrative task. You can automate any task with AI. But I'm mentioning one example is administrative tasks. You can also do data analysis. And this is really powerful because you can feed all your data into AI and you can ask it to analyze your data. And then you can get so many more insights and you can make decisions so much quicker. Brainstorming. This is a use case that I see so few people actually leveraging. Because remember, with AI, it's like having an industry leader at your fingertips 24/7. And guess what? All these AI tools that are out there today, this is the worst that they are ever going to be. So remember, they are just going to get better and better. So we want to learn them so that we can take advantage of them. Now, there's one common frustration or one common question that I get is I can't get good results with AI. Because remember, when it comes to AI, the output that you get is only as good as the input you give it. So I'm pretty sure you guys must have heard of the term prompts. All of you must have heard of prompts. But sometimes it scares people when they hear that term. But it's nothing to be afraid of. A prompt, put simply, is just the instructions that you are giving the AI. So I want to share with you a simple prompt framework that if you start using today, you will see amazing results immediately. So number one, you give it a role. So for example, you are a digital marketer. That's a role. But now, just telling it that or giving it that role, it's really broad because digital marketing is so broad. So you want to give it a role, but with a speciality as well. So for example, you are a digital marketer and you specialize in lead generation. Then next up, you want to give it a task. So what do you want it to do for you? So for example, you are a digital marketer, you specialize in lead generation. I want you to generate landing page copy for my humanitarian organization called Ashraful Aid, for example. Then you want to give it a goal. So why do you want it to do this task for you? And this is critical. Why do you want it? So for example, you are a digital marketer, you specialize in lead generation. I want you to generate landing page copy for my humanitarian organization called Ashraful Aid. I want to create this copy to generate more donations or more leads, whatever you want to do, right? And then lastly, this is really important. If you simply ask it to ask me any clarifying questions so that we can get the best possible outcome. So a prompt will look something like this. You are a digital marketer, you specialize in lead generation. I want you to generate landing page copy for my humanitarian organization called Ashraful Aid, and we want to generate more donations. Simply ask me any clarifying questions in order for us to get the best possible outcome. Now what it's going to do It's not going to give you an answer straight away. It's going to ask you questions. So say, for example, you missed out, who are you targeting? It will ask you that. Now, if you didn't mention who is your audience, it's going to ask you that. And it's going to ask you questions that you would have never thought of had you not asked it that simple part right at the end. And then you will see, once you answer those questions, your response will be so much better. And other good news I want to give you is, in order to become good with AI, you don't need a certification. I don't have any certification. I don't have any qualification when it comes to AI. You don't need to be a coder. You don't need to be a marketer. All you need to do is you need to understand how to communicate with the AI. Because once you understand that, once you know how to communicate with it, that is when you can get it to do anything that you want for you. And here as well, you don't want to take whatever it gives you. You want to go back and forth with it. If you are not happy with something, you need to tell it, I'm not happy with this, or I need this, add this, remove this, because remember, it doesn't have any feelings as yet. It may have in the future, but for now it doesn't have any feelings. Because as I mentioned, it's like having an intelligent, A-grade employee by your side 24/7. Now, one employee is great, but I want to show you that you can actually have multiple employees. So how many of you here have heard of custom GPTs? By a show of hands? One person. Or few. We've got a few people. We've got a few people. Okay, that's great. Now, custom GPTs, put simply, are just your versions of ChatGPT. So you can train it on your own knowledge. You can feed it your own knowledge, and it's going to use that as your knowledge as its knowledge base. And you can even train it how to behave. And once you can understand that, that is when you can create a team of AI assistants tailored to your needs. And one mistake I see people making when it comes to creating custom GPTs, they want to create one custom GPT that can do everything. And that is the mistake. You should create multiple GPTs for multiple tasks. So for example, in my company, in my business, we create GPTs for every client. We create GPTs for every project. And sometimes if we are doing different things for a particular client, we will make separate GPTs for every service that they offer. We will make separate GPTs for my videos, for example, to create the captions. We will create separate GPTs to write our headlines. So for everything, we will create a GPT because it has been trained already on what we want it to do, so it makes our life so much easier. Now, in order to create custom GPTs, you will need the paid version of ChatGPT. But if you don't have the paid version of ChatGPT, you can still leverage custom GPTs, just that you will only be able to use GPTs created by other creators. So there are many creators out there. Example, Canva, they have their own GPT. So I'm talking about big companies. Adobe have their own GPT. You can search for anything and you will find a custom GPT for that task. Now, can you see on the screenshot, I'm showing you a GPT that was made by me that's called Ads Analyzer. So it basically analyzes ads for that. But what I want to show you is, as you can see, I just typed in an @ sign. Now, what this does now, it allows me to call in other custom GPTs into that same chat. So as you can see, for example, it's called in a prompt generator. It's called in one that is made by me, that is of me. So I created a custom GPT on me. So it's trained about everything about me. So we can now use multiple GPTs in one thread. And that is when it becomes so much more powerful. Now I want to share with you my top 10 AI tools that I use today. So number 10 is crisp.ai. So what that does is, Basically, I do a lot of online meetings. So if I don't have my professional microphone with me, it actually enhances my audio live on the call. Then number 9 is Adobe Podcast Enhanced Speech. So sometimes I recorded a video and I forgot to turn my mic on, or I don't have access to a good mic. If I upload my audio to Adobe Podcast Enhanced Speech, it will enhance that audio, remove the background noise, and give it that studio sound. And number 8 is fireflies.ai. So I do a lot of online meetings, as I said. So this is an AI note taker. So after the call, it'll tell me the sentiment of the call, who spoke more, was it positive, was it negative, what's the next steps that I need to take, and then I can send that off to all the other participants, and they will get a summary of our call. Then number 7 is ZimWriter. So I've been doing SEO since 2013, and I can honestly say that that is the best AI blog writing tool that I have come across. And number 6 is Descript. So I edit all my videos in Descript. If you can use Microsoft Word or Google Docs, then you can edit videos with Descript. The number 5 is Flux Pro. This is an AI image generation tool, and it creates hyper-realistic images. Number 4 is Runway ML. That is an AI video generation tool. So you can do text to video, you can do image to video, or you could do video to video. So you feed it an image, it'll create a video from that. If you feed it a video, it'll create a video from that. Number 3 is Perplexity.ai. This is an AI search engine. So it has replaced Google for me when it comes to doing research. And I do a lot of research for my videos and for my business in general. So I use Perplexity AI a lot. The number 2 is Claude.ai. Now, if you asked me last month, I would have actually put Claude.ai at number 1. But because ChatGPT has some new updates, Claude AI is at number 2, but I still use it a lot. And then number 1 is ChatGPT. That is the tool that I use the most because it has so many amazing features. Now, I want to leave you with this. I want to challenge you. Think about how AI can make your impact bigger. How can AI help you to get to a remote village? How can AI help you to respond to a disaster faster? How can AI help you to stretch your budget even further? Because the future of humanitarian aid isn't about choosing between human compassion and AI. It's about combining the both to create something special, something that can save lives, something that can create a great impact and maybe even change the world as well. So let's just not talk about AI. Let's use it to make a real difference. So I want all of you to join the AI revolution so that you can create a bigger impact. Thank you.